Hi, my name's Dave Thurston. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite / go-to guitar amp sim plugin of 2025. But first, let's give it a listen. So, what's in the box? What's the plugin? Drum roll, please. My favorite / go-to amp sim plugin of 2025 has been the Bogren Digital AmpknobRevC. It is so simple. It's one knob. It's one knob. As you can see, it's modeled after a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier Rev C, Revision C, but just the way Bogren would like to have it set up. It's like he mapped out his perfect tone from a Rev C dual rec and just gave you a gain knob. It's pretty awesome. Honestly, I haven't even messed with the gain knob. When you open it, it comes set to this kind of 2 o'clock gain setting, and it sounds sounds rad. Now, the reason this has become my go-to plugin of 2025 is not because it's hands down the best sounding. I think it sounds really good. It does sound massive, and it has a lot of cool features, believe it or not, that you don't necessarily see directly on the surface. Like on the surface, it just has one knob, but it also has built-in tuner if you're using the standalone app. It also has a gate that you can click into the settings bar to activate the gate. It also has the default setting also has matched cab simulation, but you can also load in your own impulse responses, or you could turn off all cab simulation altogether and run it in front of something like the 2 Notes Genome for cab sim or any other impulse response loader. So despite being a one knob amp sim, it's pretty full featured in terms of what you can do with that cab simulation. Having a gate is also super helpful whenever you're doing high gain stuff. So it just makes it super plug and play. Speaking of plug and play, that is the reason it's become my go-to plugin of 2025. I have a ton. I have too many amp sims. I have way too many amp sims. If you look at the screen here, I've got this isn't even all of my amp sims right now. This is because I need to group more in here. There are some that aren't grouped in here yet. It's so much, and every single one of those, just about every single one of those has at least one amp, if not multiple amps, with various cab simming, with various mic placement, with the whole array of knobs. And I'm a real amp guy. Okay, for starters, like I'm a real amp guy. At the end of the day, I might blend in a tiny bit of amp sim in my final mixes, but I really like just miking up an amp and letting it rip, and just knowing it sound, hey, I got it sounding great in the room, I mic'd it up, sounds great, let's just do it. But I don't necessarily want to have that all set up, and I don't necessarily want to be playing at volume when I'm just coming up with riffs or writing songs or demoing stuff out, or, you know, playing at like, you know, the middle of the night. Even then, it's like I've got the surreactive load, I've got the 2 notes captor. I could technically be going silent in the middle of the night, but at the end of the day, I just want to be able to plug in, pull something up real quick, and just know this thing's going to sound awesome. And you know what? The AmpknobRevC has just done it for me. As you can, well, you can't see it, but of all the amps I have, my go-to amp for live and that I like to record myself with is my Mesa Boogie Dual Rec Roadster. Obviously, the Roadster and the RevC are not the same, but they're in the same family. They get the same vibe, and I'm super happy when I plug in, I turn it on, it just rocks. Now that said, let's talk about one other thing. If you look at my session here, there's another amp knob on here. What could that be? Well, Bogren Digital actually just put the BDH3 head on sale for $10 this month. So I couldn't really resist trying it. I had to get it. Anyway, I think my takeaway is anything in the amp knob family. If you find one of those models that's like, you're like, oh, I'm a Marshall guy, or I'm a 6505, 5150 guy, I'm a Recto guy. If you get their amp knob, it's going to be sick. So I have put the BDH3 on here, and we can play a little bit of the song here. So you can hear what it sounds like, everything the exact same, but with the BDH3 instead of the RevC. Either way, both killer, super simple amp sims that you can just plug in, it's gonna rip. One other note is if you're looking at this, you're like, well, but there's other stuff going on here. You know, I tried some other things on the bass. Right now I'm experimenting with this Modern Music Solutions SansAmp clone, which was free, so highly recommend that. So honorable mention there. You know, I'm always messing around with my bass tones. Right now I got a LA2A, distressor, and then just some EQ on it. For drums, I am using the Bogren Digital Trivium, or Alex Best Trivium drums. Also sound fantastic. I figured, you know, I'd kind of go as all in on the Bogren Digital for this demo as I could. Other than that, what you're seeing, these C1 comps are just some sidechain compressors so that my lead guitar can just duck the rhythm a little bit. The rhythm guitars under the leads are these big power chords, and it's just a lot to cut through. And then also when the soloing stops, suddenly the rhythm guitars go to more riffs, to a more riffy play, which then has a little less power. So I wanted to be able to like keep things a little more consistent. We duck the big chord rhythms so the leads can poke through, and then when the lead drops out, it's not like we've suddenly lost a lot of energy because the rhythm bumps back up. So that's what's going on there. Lastly, I have everything going through Waves SSL Mixbus comp with the Lily White Mixbus preset. I really like it. I think it starts with a makeup gain of 3.5. I usually bring it down to 2.5. And then I do a little bit of squashing in Ozone, but I'm just using it for the maximization. I'm not doing I'm not impacting none of the tone that you're hearing is impacted by that. You know, I'm trying to keep this pretty raw to what the guitars sound like with the amp knob. So no EQ or anything on that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this demo of my favorite / go-to amp plugin of 2025, the AmpknobRevC by Bogren Digital. If you enjoyed the riffs, if you enjoyed the demo, please give me a like and subscribe so you can be notified and catch my next videos when they come out. Thanks a lot.